Hi dancers, my name is Alana Niehoff, and in case you haven't met me before, I had a varied career as a dancer. I started out as a classical ballet dancer. I worked with American Ballet Theater's studio company and the Alabama Ballet. After an injury, I had to transition into another field, and I transitioned into musical theater, and eventually I became a Radio City Rockette, where I danced there for 11 years, and I also worked in many different industrials and commercial dance aspects. Currently, I'm a teacher with Central Pennsylvania Youth Ballet, and I'm very happy to be a guest artist with CDI. Today, I'm going to talk about precision jazz techniques. In case you don't know what precision jazz is, it's used across many mediums, including musical theater and, of course, on stage at Radio City Music Hall. Precision jazz is very specific. So, of course, whenever we dance as a group in any style, we have a format that we're following, but precision jazz, it gets down to the detail of how you move your pinky finger. Everyone is trying to look like one, but then have their own personality in their face. All right, let's start with some arm techniques. The first arm technique we're going to use is called the elbow wrist hand, and this is used when you want to do a smoother arm in precision dance. Precision dance doesn't always have to be quick, it can also be slow. So for this, let's just start with your arms by your side. We're going to work with the right arm first. All right, and you want to feel that arm drawing up the center of your body, and you want to feel the elbow lifting. The elbow keeps lifting until it can't anymore. Then the wrist takes over. After the wrist can't move anymore, then the fingers unfurl, and then you will feel your arm should be in a straight line up from your shoulder. You can reverse that back down by bending that elbow, bringing that hand through the center of your body. After the elbow can't move anymore, then the wrist takes over, and at the very end, those hands unfurl, and for now, just put it down by your side. Let's try moving it up in a count of 4. Let's do the left arm this time. So through the center of your body, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's work on a faster, sharper arm. This arm that we're going to learn is quite commonly used when a dancer does a high développé kick to the side. All right, so you're going to make sure those elbows and those armpits are squeezing into your side, and then you're going to bring your hands up like this, and your hands are in a blade position. Notice where my thumbs are. I don't have them in the middle of my hand. It's just right there kissing my other fingers. All right, in this position, you want your hands to be as close to your chest as humanly possible, and your fingertips to be below your shoulders. This position is not always easy for everyone to get into. Some people have to really work on their shoulder flexibility and the flexibility in their wrist to do this properly. But keeping the fingers below the shoulders ensures that everybody looks exactly the same. This is much harder to make clean amongst a large group of dancers with various body types. All right, from here, let's imagine our right leg would be doing the développé kick. So your right arm is going to push out to the side, and it's going to end up being a straight line out from your shoulder. It's best if you think of it just sloping down slightly so that when you do the battement, it doesn't accidentally do this. All right, the other arm is going to press up and out, and it's almost a perfectly straight line from your shoulder. It's not exactly straight because then it looks like you kind of have no neck. So it's just slightly out. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to move our arms quickly into that position on count 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then hold. All right, now let's work on some bevels that are used in precision jazz technique. In case you haven't noticed, I'm almost 8 months pregnant, so some of these positions I'm not going to be able to get into as well as you probably can at home. So let's first start with a closed bevel. All right, you're going to make sure that your big toe is kissing your other big toe, or sometimes we'll say bunion to bunion. All right, so you're going to point your right foot. Your left foot is just a little turned out just to make your supporting leg stable. So you're going to kiss that big toe to the other big toe, and then you want to cross your knee over as much as you can. It just gives your leg a much better line than having that knee facing straight forward. So you probably can get this across a lot better than I can. All right, gentlemen, if you were in the cage au feu, you would probably do a very similar type of bevel, but in a different show, you might wear a lower heeled shoe, either a flat jazz shoe or a men's character jazz shoe, and you're gonna have a little bit more just a pop on a demi point. The knee will still be crossed over, but probably not as extreme. Now let's talk about an open bevel. All right, this bevel is usually the same for both men and women, but sometimes it might be done on the demi point for a man versus the full point. All right, you're going to take that line that we just did for our closed bevel and you just extend it out. And it's a straight line going down from the knee through the shin to your point. If you turn to the side, it looks like that. All right, let's talk about one other type of bevel. This bevel is used a lot when the show has a showgirl type feel to it. This bevel is a little bit more open than the closed bevel, and that foot is winged and that knee is still coming across. Really make sure if the choreographer or director is giving this bevel that you're listening to their cues for it, because many directors like this bevel done several different ways. All right, let's work on a short combo. I'm in a small space, so I'm going to not move very much side to side, but if you have a little bit larger of a space, feel free to move a little bit more from side to side. Also, right now, I can't do everything full out, so please listen to the words that I am saying and do the movements as full out as you can in your environment. Let's start in a closed bevel with the left foot pop. So turn out that right foot a little bit. Bevel that left foot. Again, you might be able to get that knee further across than I can. All right, I want you to blade your hands, but then release your thumbs. Put your thumbs in the front and keep that blade hand in the back. Really make sure it's a blade, because sometimes this movement is done facing away from the audience, and then you can see those hands, and the director will want them in a blade. Your elbows. There's 3 different ways your arms can be in this position. They can be flat, a neutral, which is the most comfortable, and sometimes extremely pulled back, trying to make them disappear. Let's have them neutral, that most comfortable position. All right, we're going to start with that développé kick to the side, those sharp arms that we did earlier. So you're going to take your prep with your arms as you plie into both legs, crossing that left leg in front, have no light in between those thighs. From here, you're going to releve and développé kick to the side. Make sure that that right arm is out from that shoulder and not lifting up too high. From here, you're going to envelopper your leg, and you're going to press down with your left arm through the center of your body. Again, both legs are in plie, but there is no light in between your thighs. Notice that my left arm is pointing towards the audience. My right arm is pointing towards the wings. From here, we're going to take a classic jazz lunge to the side. Notice this knee is looking straight down towards the floor. I'm pointing my right foot. My shoulders are on a slight angle, so don't have them en face to the audience, on a slight angle. From here, we're going to step back onto that right foot, point that left foot in a classic jazz line, so not fully turned out, not fully turned in, kind of in between. Your right arm comes up to your shoulder, and from here, we are going to unfurl it in the elbow, wrist, hand, and from here, we are now going to get ready for the second side, back to a classic bevel. All right, let's go ahead and do that again on the right side with some counts. So you are in that closed bevel, the left foot is pop, thumbs in front, blade fingers in the back, a neutral elbow. So 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be 1. Développé kick is 2. Down through the body, 3. Out to that classic jazz lunge, 4. Pulling up to the tendu, 5. Unfurling, 6. Hold, 7. And flip to the closed bevel on 8. And then you would do the second side. All right, let's try this combo a little bit faster. I'm going to continue counting you through the second side, but I'm going to stop dancing after the first side because I get out of breath really easy right now. So here we go. A 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice job. All right, let's finish today's video off with some audition tips. So if you're going to audition for a Precision Jazz show or company, make sure you really read the description for the audition thoroughly and make sure that you're proficient in all the styles that they're asking for. And if you're not, go bone up on that style in some classes. If it's a description that's not very thorough because it's a new show or a new company and it's a little vague, try looking up what the choreographer has choreographed before because that'll give you an idea of what to expect. My second tip is make sure that you show up looking the part. So this is going to vary from show to show. So for example, if you were auditioning for the Rockettes, you would want to show up in a very classic looking leotard, something without too many cutouts or straps across the front. You'd want it to be solid colored. You want to wear tan tights and have tan shoes. Hair would be pulled up in a high bun or a French twist. Now, if you're auditioning for Chicago, you'd probably show up in a black leotard that did have some cutouts that really showed off your physique well as maybe black tights or black fishnets. And you might end up wearing your hair down for that audition. My third tip is make sure that you have a colored 8x10 headshot that looks like you and looks like you now, that's current, as well as a up-to-date resume that is attached to that headshot. My fourth tip is if you get a callback for the show that you have auditioned for, show up wearing the exact same outfit that you wore to the audition the day before. Do not show up wearing something different and make sure your hair is styled exactly the same. The only reason why you would not do that is if the director or choreographer asks you to wear something different. And my final tip is don't give up. If you know the show is right for you, go back and audition for it again if you don't get it the first time. I had many friends that I worked with at Radio City and other companies and gigs that auditioned multiple times before they got the contract. So keep showing up and keep training. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you to the Commercial Dance Intensive for offering these videos to everyone across the country. And dancers, please stay safe, stay smart, and most importantly, keep dancing.